Okay. Well, welcome one, which has got to take a look at Perpetual FIFO. Now, this concept again, because we've looked at it before, is the same thing. We're going to plug in everything exactly as is, except there's only one difference. As we keep making purchases of inventory, we are going to start from the bottom at every single time. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So again, last in, first out, as we all know, means the last batches that you buy usually are the first to go. So again, but this here, your equations are going to stay the same as far as this, because again, we've seen how to do FIFO. If you could do FIFO, you could definitely do Lifo just the same way. Except remember, we're using the different worksheet now. So it's a little more complicated than it was before. So now we have to include our cost of goods sold. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into the example here. So again, our inventory is going to be Perpetual, and we're learning Lifo. So on June 1st, you made a purchase of 100 toys for $1.25, and the freight cost you $25. So again, journal it just like that. And we're going to plug it right into our inventory worksheet. Okay, so here we have our quantity, our unit cost, which cost me $1.25, plus the freight right there. So again, you're going to solve for the purchase price, just like we've been doing. So 125 plus 25 gives you 150, breaking down our cost per item to be $1.50. Okay, and again, if it helps you, use colors. All right, so now I know that the red batch came first. All right. So the next scenario here is that on June 3rd, you sold 55 toys for $5 each. Okay, so that's how you journalize it. And now we're going to plug it into our cost of goods sold. Now, just because we only have one batch and one batch only, that's the only one that you're going to be taking out from. So in this case, LIFO, FIFO, it doesn't matter how it works because there's only one batch available. So in this case, we're just going to take out 55. Of course, we're going to take our cost per item, right? We're going to sell it, or when we sell our items, we're actually going to use the cost per item because we want to make sure that not only is the purchase price also covered, but also the freight cost as well. So that's where we go ahead and plug in the 150, and of course we multiply those two numbers across to get you a total of 82.50. Okay. And just like I've been showing you, all right, it's the easiest way to know and to understand how your transaction works is go ahead and actually physically subtract it out of your inventory to get your updated inventory. So now my red batch is now 45 items, and it is for now $67.50. All right. So let's see what happens when we actually enter in new inventory. So then on June 5th, we made a purchase of 100 toys for $1.28 with the freight costing $26. So again, we plug in our numbers here, 100 items for $1.28, giving you 128 plus 26, giving you 154, to break down that cost to be now 154. And of course, I'm going to choose another color. Okay. So now I have two batches. I have my red batch and I have my yellow batch. My yellow batch is the last one that I bought. So if I were to sell as of right now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take away from the yellow batch because I'm following my last in, first out rule. Okay, so this is where we're constantly updating our inventory. We're no longer going to be looking at our inventory like before, where we have all of our total cost or our total items, and we're just going to slowly lift it up from each one. No, it's going to go as you go. As you make a purchase, you're going to go ahead and start taking away. Okay? So let's see what happened next. Then on June 10, we made another purchase of inventory. We made another purchase of 100 toys. So again, here I placed it in here already with full calculations. So here we have 100 toys at 130, giving you 130 plus 27 equals 157, which we break it down to 157. And of course, I'm going to color it green. So now my game has changed. So the next time I sell something, which batch am I going to be taking it out of? Exactly. We're going to be taking it out from the green one. So if I were to enter in another batch, what happens then? Then the next time you sell something, it's going to be that fourth batch that we just recently bought. So in this case, again, we're kind of moving the inventory along. So again, every purchase that you make, every cost every item that you sell, it affects how you calculate inventory. And this one, you actually have to really, really manage and keep track of your items, because every time you make a purchase, that means Lifo, that one's the first one you're going to get rid of. Okay? So here on June 12th, okay, you sold 120 toys for $5 each. So we sold 120. If we come here, we notice that our green batch is going to be 100, and then we have to dip into our yellow batch. So here we're starting from bottom and making our way to the top. So instead of calculating from top to bottom, we're going to actually eliminate the green batch first and then eliminate taking away from the yellow batch. So in this case, from what I know, I'm taking the whole green batch out. So by doing so, I'm going to subtract it out, making green become 0. Okay? And I know this because I don't have to calculate, because I'm taking the whole batch. So there's no point to calculate that. So now the next portion is I'm going to take a portion of the yellow batch. So from here, I know that's going to cost me $1.54, which I multiplied the two to get a total of $30.80. Now, as you know, we're going to take out from the yellow batch right after we made our conclusion here. We're going to subtract from our yellow batch to give us now our yellow batch to be 80 items left, and it's going to be for a total of $123.30. Okay, so now we only have 2 batches left, and of course, we're going to go ahead and sum up our totals here. So again, because when we journalize our journal, right, we're looking for 120 items. We're not going to journalize cost of goods sold for 100 and then, or for the 100 items, and then another cost of goods sold for the 20 remaining items. No, we're going to bundle them all up and make our journal look concise, right? You don't want to clutter your journal by adding too much details. Even though you are following the Lifo method, it's just much more better to just, instead of having 2 entries, just sum it all into one. Okay, and of course, our last piece of information was that we should have 125 items left on hand, which we do, 45 plus 80. I'm sorry, did I say 60? It's 80. So here we know that it's 125. I have 125 left. Okay, and it's going to cost me a grand total of $190.75. So notice this again. When we're looking at our inventory this way, right? We cost our goods sold, and we realize that the numbers that we're getting, right? They're going to keep fluctuating. They're not going to stay the same, because in this case, because we're costing our last ones that we just purchased, we're actually getting rid of our newer inventory. So they're more expensive. So again, comparing, contrasting which one works best for you. Again, it's just depending on your product. But in this case, my inventory is always going to, using Lifo, it's always going to reflect a lot lower. Okay? So then now, the next section here is we're looking at how beginning inventory affects this particular thing here. So we're continuing on, and here it says that on June 15th you have a total of 125 toys on hand costing $190.70. So just as before, we're going to carry the numbers over. Okay, we're going to carry the 45 and we're going to carry the 80 over. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so then again, here you go. We transferred over the information, the 45 and the 80, to give us a total of 125. However, because we're still using the Lifo method, we need to still keep our batches separate. So in this case, here it is. I entered them in exactly the same order, right? I had my red batch first, and then my yellow batch came afterwards. So now in this scenario, on June 18th, you sold 90 toys for $5 each. So here, we're going to take a look. Do we have enough in our yellow batch to cover all 90 units?
No.
No. So that means we're going to be dipping into both batches here. So we're essentially going to get rid of our yellow batch. And of course, we're going to still follow the last in, first out rule, right? We're going to start from the yellow and make our way to the red. And here I've laid it out. We got a grand total of 90 items. And of course, I'm going to get rid of my yellow batch here. And I'm going to subtract it out. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place in the 10 items I need to sell for my red batch, and then clear that out as well. So that means at the end of this transaction here, I should have an equal total of 90 units sold with an equal total of 35 units left in my red batch. Okay, so there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. So then on June 21st, you purchase another 100 toys. So here it is, 100 toys at 132, giving you 132 plus 26 to give you 158. And to break it down, that's going to cost me $1.58 each. And because we are using colors, I'm going to choose another color, blue. Okay. And then on June 25th, now we see that that you purchase another purchase of 100 toys for $1.35. And of course, I've already did the calculation for you. And we're going to go ahead and choose another color. So we chose orange this time because we had yellow from our beginning, or from when we moved everything in. So I chose another color. I chose orange. So now I've entered in more batches of inventory. So if I were to sell something, which batch am I going to take out from now?
The orange.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so here, the example here on June 27th is that now you sold another 120 units. So here, I'm going to be dipping into both batches, orange and blue. Okay, we're going to get rid of the entire orange batch. So this makes it a lot more easier because now I could just sell out my entire batch. Okay, So there I got rid of my orange batch. Okay, so now I have to dip in 20 more from the blue batch. Okay, so 20 is costing me $1.58, which gives me a grand total of $31.60. I'm going to subtract that out of my blue batch, and now I have a total of 120 toys, and I have a total of 80 left remaining in my blue batch. Okay. And then it says on June 28th, you sold an additional 65 toys. And then, of course, on June 30th, you had a total of 50 toys. So here, because I have 80 left remaining in my blue batch, that's all I have to take is 65. So pretty straightforward. We're going to subtract out that 65, giving us a remainder of now 15 in my blue batch. 15 plus 35 from my red batch is going to give me a grand total of 50 items at the end of the day. And of course, I totaled up my cost of goods sold for inventory purposes. But yeah, pretty straightforward. So now instead of starting from the top, we're starting from the bottom. And every time we make a purchase, you're going to constantly start from the bottom again, over and over and over again. Okay? Any questions in regards to Lifo? Yes, it's a lot of the groove. It will get easier. Okay. So okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into our exercise. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. So here, we have the chapter 8.2 perpetual inventory exercises. So here your inventory method is perpetual and we are using Lifo. Okay. So if on May 5th we decided to purchase 1,000 units at $3 each on an account and the freight cost $100. So here we're going to start our inventory worksheet. So on May 5th, okay, we're going to skip over the cost of goods sold section. And we're going to go right into our inventory or our inventory workspace section or our purchases, okay? So we made a purchase of 1,000 items at $3 with a freight of $100. So what's my total purchase price here?
3,000.
And what is my total cost going to be?
3,100.
3,100. And then what is my cost per item going to be?
310.
$3.10. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and move this into my inventory on hand, just so then it makes it easier to keep track of, and I have an idea of how much inventory I have. Okay. And because of this, I'm going to go ahead and do what I've taught you guys. So once we dive into the chapter 8 exercises, when we learn all 3 of them, I'll go ahead and eliminate that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make this orange again. Okay, here you go. So that's our first batch there. All right. And then let's see what happened next. Okay. On May 7th, you sold 550 units at $10 each with cash and no sales tax. So where are we going to place this?
Cost of goods sold.
550. How much is it going to cost me to sell each item?
310.
And then, of course, because we only have our only batch there, our assumption is that's it. We're just going to get rid of this one. And I got 1705 for that one. And of course, I'm going to carry it across over so then we know that we actually got rid of this. Okay, so I should have 450 items remaining. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to take out the 1705. And now I should have a remaining of 1395 even. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and come into my orange batch here. And because I know that I sold that, it should be 450. And boom, I did get 1395. Right? Let's see what happened next. So it says here that we made another purchase of 850 units at $3.25 each. Freight cost of 75 cents. That was May 10, right? May 10. We are going to go here. Oh, that's not that one. I need to skip one more. May 10. We purchased an additional 850 units at $3.25 each with a freight of 75. I'm going to double confirm that. So you purchased 850 at $3.25 with a freight of 75. So what's my total purchase price here?
$2,762.50.
$2,762.50 plus my $75 freight gives me a total cost of
$2,837.50.
good. And then my cost per item is going to be $339. I did not get that.
Mine is wrong.
Okay. I'm going to stretch this out too because I know this isn't an easy number. I'm going to go ahead and double confirm that just to make sure that I selected the right numbers. Yes, 3.33823. And I'm going to carry it across over. And there it is. Okay. I'm also going to pick a color. So we got orange. What did you say, Nilo?
Make it pink.
You want it pink? Oh, okay. I'm going to have to see where pink is. I have this nice salmon color. Is that good enough?
Yes, okay.
Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, so now we have these batches, the second batch here. So let's go ahead and take a look what happened next. So here on May 12th, now you sold 360 units at $10 each, costing for cash. Okay, so 360. So which batch are we going to be taking out from?
850.
We're going to take out from from that one, or you can also refer as the pink batch. Okay, so 360, right? And we know it's going to cost me this much, right? So therefore, we need to apply our equal round, formula in this one because we don't have a nice number. So you're going to go equal round. You're going to do your formula again, comma, 2, because we want 2 decimal places. And then you could go ahead and press enter there. Okay, so I got 201.76. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and because right here, this is the best way, I could just go ahead and subtract it right out because my last batch is what I recently just placed in there. So I didn't have to copy or pull information down. I just go ahead and enter it in there. So here I have a total of 490 items left, or that's how much I should have left. And I should have a total cost of now $1335.74. So I'm gonna come over here, and again, 850 minus 360 gives me 490. Let's double confirm. Yes, I got 1635.74. Okay, so 74 plus, let me see, let's just double check that. 74 plus 76, yes, does give you 50. Okay, so good. Now that I've eliminated this, now I know I have those remaining. All right. So then on May 5th, you sold an additional 600 units at $10 each. So let's look at our batches. Do we have enough to cover 600?
Yes.
Yes, we do, but we have to dip in 2 different batches. So I'm going to come over here, and this was May 15. We know that we have a remaining in our pink for 490, and we know that we need to get to 600. So we need to take out a total of 110 to get our grand total of 600 items. And of course, I'm going to highlight this because this is our calculation, right? We are going to solve that we need a total cost, or a total cost of goods sold. So here, knowing that the 490 is going to give you this, right? And we know that, let me go ahead and do the equal round, just so that I can show you guys. You could have just typed it in, but I want to make sure that you guys know where this information is coming from. Okay, there you go. So you got your 1635.74. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and subtract that out. And I should get a 0 balance here. Same thing over here. I'm going to subtract out my 1635.74 to get me a 0 balance. And of course, I'm going to also update my inventory here. So it should be 0. Okay. And now that, because I did my calculations right, I took 600 and I subtracted the 490. So therefore, I have a 110 left that I need to take out from my first batch. So I'm going to go ahead. I know for sure that it's going to cost me $3.10. All right. And then if you just multiply these across, right, you don't need to do the equal round because it's already a round number. I'm getting rid of $341 here. So this one, I do need to carry down the information from above. So I have to locate my 450. And I'm going to subtract out my 110. So therefore, I should get a grand total of 340 items left. Same thing here. I'm going to pull my information from above. And I'm going to subtract out my $341. And I should get a remaining of 1054. And I'm going to go ahead and type 340 in here. 1054 is exactly correct. Okay. All right. And then let's see what happened next. Now on May 20th, we made another purchase. 300 units at $3.50, $20 freight. Okay, so what is my total purchase price going to be?
$10.50.
$10.50 plus 20. My total cost is going to be
$7.70.
Making my cost per item to be
3.56667.
3.5. Okay, so let me go ahead and expand that. So you guys know that this is a non-rounded number. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and enter that information here so I know that I actually bought batch number 3. Okay. And it cost me this much money. So therefore it is. So notice this. How come I'm not eliminating my pink batch? Well, it's because I'm using Excel and I cell reference, so I can't actually remove it. Okay. However, as I could see, my pink batch, I know it's 0 because it says it's 0. So I'm going to go ahead and make this batch, I'm going to make it green. Okay. So here, I have a total of 3 batches, right? I have 340 for my first batch. I have 0 in my second batch. And now I have a new batch of 300 green. Okay. So when we look at this and we do another sale, we're just going to go from green and then we're going to jump right into orange if we sold more than what we have. Okay. But this is just to make sure that you keep your records as well, because it's good to always keep your records. Never delete anything. That's the rule of accounting. Okay, so we're going to keep that information there, but also because I cell referenced. So if I remove that, everything's going to kind of be a little messed up. All right, so let's see what happened next. So the 22nd of May, you sold 450 units. 450 units. So, do I have enough for 450 units?
Yes.
Yes, you do. However, let's look at our batch here. So what was it? May 22nd. We need to sell a total of 450 units. Here, our green batch is how much?
300.
Yes, so therefore I need to split my transaction. Oh, I didn't add up my previous one up there. Okay. So, knowing that that my first batch that I have here, or I'm sorry, in this case, I'm taking away from my last batch, I know for sure that it's going to cost me this nasty number here, but I don't need to figure that out because I already know what it is. I know that it is for the total amount of the 1070. Okay, hold on, I think it's this way. There you go, 1070. And then because I can eliminate it right away, therefore my number should be 0. And I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the 1070. So then therefore it should be 0. So I'm going to come up here and now my green batch is 0. And now I need to dip into my only batch I have left, which is the 340 for the orange. And I need to take out an additional 150. So because I know that there's only one batch and one batch only, and it's costing me $3.10, what is my total cost going to be here for this part, for this one?
465.
465. And again, because this is an equation right here, I'm going to also highlight that and make sure that you know it's an equation. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and pull the information from above the 340. Yes, 340. And I'm going to eliminate 150. So I should have 190 left. Same thing up here. I'm going to pull the information down from above. I'm going to eliminate this $465, giving me a new grand total of $598. So here, 340 minus 150. There you go, 190, $589. Okay, good. Okay, so then what has happened on May 25th?
Purchase.
We purchased another additional 650 units at 375 with the freight costing me 50. So 650, 375, and 50. So May 25th, I purchased another 650. Oh, wrong column. 650 at 375, freight of 50. So what is my total purchase price going to be here?
2,047.50.
4,030. Okay, yeah, 2,004. Yeah, good. And then what is my total cost going to be here?
3.8269.
Oh, you saw for the cost per item?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm jumping in ahead.
That's fine. 3.8265. Oop, I keep it the wrong way.
826. Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and carry this over into my inventory on hand. So I have a new batch of 650. And it's going to cost me this much. All right, there it is. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight this, and I'm going to go ahead and make this blue. So you could see a little contrasting here. So blue. Okay. So there you go. 650 is our new batch. And let's see what has happened next. Then on May 27th, we sold an additional 740 items. Okay. And of course, I'm going to throw this in now since we're already here. On May 31st, you should have a total of 100 units on hand. So let's go ahead and take away this 740. So, question to you, do we have enough for 740?
Yes.
Yes, we do. We have 650 and we have our orange batch. So, let me see. May 27. We're going to get rid of our 650 and whatever 740 minus the 650, whatever amount that we need to take away to get us a total of 470. Okay, I'm going to also highlight this again so we know that this is an equation. So again, 650. That means we're going to eliminate the entire blue batch right here. Okay? And of course, with our calculations, we know that if we take the full amount, it's going to be for the 248,750. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and eliminate that right from my window here, making it 0. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and go up here and eliminate that from my batch as is. Okay, so there you go. I got rid of that. So now I need to take 90 out from my orange batch, which we know to be a total of the 310. Okay, here we can multiply across, and what's my total cost here?
279.
279. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and also eliminate that from my previous batch up here. Minus 90. And what do you know? We should end up with 100 items left in my inventory, which is correct because that's exactly what we calculated it to be. I think I tapped the wrong number. So I should have 310 left. And even if I go over here and go 100, 310 is exactly what I have left. Okay. Any questions so far? Pretty straightforward. Now that we understand the concept, we know what we're doing, we saw it from the first section, so now we can just go ahead and apply it. So here is how you do the first example here. Okay. So now we're going to be continuing on. Okay, now we have beginning inventory. So now, how does the beginning inventory affect our calculations now? So here on May 31st, you should have a total of 100 units on hand, okay? Which we do know because we solved it from the previous one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this information right here, this orange batch, and I'm going to carry over the orange batch so you know where this number came from. And I'm going to carry it over into my inventory right here. So of course, I'm going to place it here as May 31st. Okay. My batch and quantity was 100 at $3.10, which was giving me a grand total of $310. And I'm going to pull the formula down here. Okay. And of course, I'm going to also carry over the orange color that we used from the previous worksheet, just so then we can stay a little consistent and know where that batch came from. Okay. So then what has happened next on June 5th? We purchased an additional 800 items at $4 each, with the freight costing you $100. So Lifo number 2. Here we're on June 5th, coming right across of 800 items at $4 each with a freight of $100. So what is my total purchase price here?
3,200.
3,200 plus my freight give me a total cost of
3,300.
3,300, and my cost per item is going to be
4.125.
4.125. Good. So now I'm going to go ahead and carry this amount over. And now I'm going, oh, wait. There you go. I already have my calculation there. So there you go. Now I'm going to choose another color just to know that this is now a second batch. Okay, so I'm going to choose, green again. Let's just choose green again. Okay. Okay. So then what has happened on June 7th? We sold 350 items. Now, which batch am I going to be taking out from for my second one here?
800.
Yes, from the green batch. Good. Okay, so again, June 7, we're taking a total of 350 units. Yes, we're taking 350, okay? And we know that this is going to come from this batch right here. Okay? So what is my total cost of goods sold here?
$1443.75.
$1443.75. And look, I can go ahead and eliminate that right away. So I should have a total remaining of 450. Same thing here. I'm gonna, oh, not my total cost, my total cost. I'm going to eliminate my 1443. So I should have 856.25. So 800 gives you 450. 1856.25. Okay. Then what has happened next on June 10?
Purchase.
Yes,
750.
we purchased now an additional 750 items at $4.25 each with a freight of 75. So 750. So what is my total purchase price here?
3,187.50.
3,187.50 plus $75 freight gives me my grand total of
3,262.50.
good. And lastly, what is my cost per item going to be?
$4.35.
$4.35 even. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this in here as well. I'm going to carry it across into my inventory on hand, making sure I have this. So there you go. And of course, I'm also going to highlight this, and I'm probably going to select, not the font, I want the color to be, I'll make it blue. Okay, so there you go. And then what has happened on June 12th?
You sold 450.
Yes, we sold 450. Okay. Now, of course, looking at our batches, which for our second one, looking at our batches, which one are we going to be taking it out of?
The blue.
Yes, we're going to take it out from the blue one. So, June 12th, was it 450 that we sold? Yes. So we sold 450, and we know that this one is going to be, it's going to cost me $4.35 each. So therefore, what is my total cost of goods sold here?
$1957.50.
$1957.50. I'm going to subtract that right out. So I should have now a remaining of 300. So therefore, I should have 1305 left remaining. So this should be 300. There you go, 1305. Okay. Then what happened on June 15th?
Sold 250 units.
Yes, we sold another 500 units. Okay. So June 15, we sold 500 units. Now let's see, do we still have enough for 500 from our blue batch?
No.
No, we need to split it. So this one we're going to eliminate the 300 and whatever 500 minus the 300 is, so 200. And now this is going to be a calculation. Okay, so if I know that 300, right, I'm taking the whole batch of it, is going to cost me $4.35 each. Of course, I'm just going to multiply that across. So I know I'm going to get rid of the 1305. Same thing here. I'm going to cross it out or eliminate it. So now I can go ahead and go to my blue batch and I'm going to make it 0. Just like that. Okay. So now I have to dip in. I need to take 200 away from the green batch. All right. The green batch is going to cost me $4.12.5. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my equal round just so then I don't get any rounding errors here. And what is my total cost for this one right here?
$8.25.
$8.25. Ooh. I thought I said I wanted 2 decimal points. Well, 8.25. Okay, good. All right. And now I'm going to have to find where I place that information for the 450, and I'm going to bring it down. And I'm subtracting 200 from there, so I should have 250 remaining. Same thing with this information here. So I should have 10.31 and 25 cents. So let me see. 450. So this is now 250. There you go. 10.31.25. So then what has happened next on June 20th?
You purchased another 600 units at 405.
And $20 freight. Good. So let me come here. All right. So we said this was on June 20th. We purchased another 600 units at $4.05 with a freight of 20. I'm going to double confirm that. June 20th, purchased 600 at 405 with a freight of 20. All right, so what's my total purchase price here?
24.30.
24.30. Okay. And plus my freight giving me a total cost of
24.50.
24.50. So breaking my cost per item down to be
4.08333.
4.08. And I'm going to expand it so you guys know that this is a long one. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and carry it over here. So as you know that we have a blue batch, it's been eliminated, but that's okay. So I'm going to pull this 600 over. And I'm also going to pull this thing over here too. And here you go, 408. And I'm going to highlight this. And I'm going to make this, I'm going to make it yellow since, or maybe you want purple. I'll do purple. Okay. So then 600 at 408 is going to cost you $24, 2,450. Okay. So now what has happened next on June 25th? June 22nd, excuse me.
You sold 250.
We sold an additional 250 units at $10.50. Now, from looking at our batches, which batch are we going to be taking out from?
The 600.
Yes, good. The purple one, yes. So here we are, June 22nd. We sold 250 units. We know that it's going to cost me this 408, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to expand it so you guys know I didn't round it. Okay, and then now we have to do our equal round formula. So again, equal round. I forgot to do my comma too. Comma 2. And what do I get? What's my total cost of goods sold here?
1020.85. 83.
10, 20, 83. And I'm going to go ahead and eliminate that right away. So I should have a total of 350 units left, with a total cost of 1429.17. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, 600. So I should have, what was it, 350?
Yes.
There you go. Here it is, 1429.17. So good, we're doing good here. All right, what happened on the 25th of June?
We purchased 350 units.
We made another purchase of 350 units at 435. Costing with a freight cost of 50. So now I'm making my inventory worksheet a lot more bigger and a lot more cluttered. So let me see. So June 25th, I purchased an additional 350 at 435. 350 at 435. Okay, how much is my total purchase price here?
1522.50.
Okay, plus my $50 freight,
1572.50.
bringing my cost per item to be
4.49285.
4.49285. Good. Okay. And now I'm going to carry this over again, once again. So I have now 350, and it's going to cost me this much. And of course, there's my formula right there for the 1572.50. And I'm going to make sure you guys know that all of these numbers here are going to be a lot bigger. Okay. And of course, now that I'm running out of space and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and select another color. So I'm going to go ahead and use yellow because we haven't used yellow, or yeah, let's use yellow. Let's use yellow. Okay. So now I have 350. Now let's look at our batches carefully. So I have a total of 4 batches. Okay. And let's see what has happened next. Then June 27th, what has happened next?
We sold
So
Okay,
550.
good. And then now it also gives us here on June 30th that you should have a total of 300 units on hand at the end of the month. So 550 is what we sold. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go ahead and June 27. If I sold a total of 550 units, so I'm going to be taking from
Taking from the yellow, and you're taking some from the blue.
This is purple.
Oh, purple.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I should have chosen a better color. 350. Okay, so good. So we have a total of 550 items we're trying to take out. We know that our yellow batch was 350. So I'm trying to get to 550. So that means I need to take out an additional 500 items. So therefore, this is going to be a calculation. So let me go ahead and indicate that. Okay, so if we know that from our previous batch that we just bought, the 350 is going to be costing me this 449 something, and we know that we're going to take the whole thing out, we know we're going to get rid of 1572.50. What else are we going to get rid of?
200 from the purple batch.
Yes, so let me go ahead and subtract this out so I can demonstrate that I got rid of this. Okay, so now we got rid of the yellow batch. So now we're going to dive into our purple batch, and we're taking 200 extra items from my purple batch. All right, and how much is it going to cost me for each purple item?
4.08333.
So therefore, I need to apply another equal round formula here. I forgot to put the comma 2. Comma 2. All right, and how much is that going to be?
Eight, 16, 66, 67.
Good. So here I'm taking my 350, subtracting out that 200, giving me a remainder of 150. I'm also going to pull this information down, so just double checking it's 1429. Okay, so where am I here? It's 350 is the 14. 2917 minus this number here. So I should get an even number of 612.50. So again, I'm going to come over here to my purple batch. 350 minus 200 gives you 150. Boom. 612.50 is correct. And there I cost my goods sold. So here I'm going to go ahead and make my total here. So I'm going to make sure I make this a calculation. So as my information from above, or not from above, but from my scenario, I know that I should have a total of 500 units. So if you add this whole column up, it should be 500. Okay, so good. We did our accounting correct. And of course, we want to know the value of the 500. So there it is. It's going to be for the total of 1953.75. Okay. So if we were to continue on to the next batch, obviously you're not going to carry over the blue or the yellow. You're only going to carry the orange, green, and purple over. Okay. Any questions so far? That is exactly how you do LIFO. No? No questions? Man, we only spent an hour in class. An hour and a half. I'll give an hour and a half. An hour. It's 9:50 now. 9:40 right now. So an hour and 10 minutes. We've already finished this lecture. Should I? Because the next section is so easy. So let's go ahead and take a 20-minute break. So please be back by 10 o'clock. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just get through 8.3 today. And I'm going to show you how easy, well, actually, weighted average is actually kind of hard. Moving average is actually kind of hard. Yeah, let's take a break, come back, and then I'll decide whether I let you go or not, okay? All right, so, okay. Please be back by 10 o'clock.